Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It is Monday. So, first of all, I want to tell you that today is the day that I work on MMT Trader. Actually, it's the day I will be finishing up MMT Trader. So, that will be sent out later today. Everyone who is on the email list, you will get it. For those of you who are not on the email list, and if you want to receive the new issue today, just go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. And right there on the homepage, you could sign up for a 30-day free trial. And in the meantime, you could download or look at all the back issues. So today I'll be very busy, finishing up the report, and it'll come out later today. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the French election. Pretty much came out as expected. Actually, I guess a little bit of a surprise in that Macron, he won by a landslide. Okay, it wasn't even close. I think he had like 30 points over Le Pen. So populism, nationalism or anti-Europe. That movement is dead in France, at least. It also points out one thing to me, and I think it is a theme that I have been repeating from time to time, is that Europeans do not want to give up the euro. They don't like austerity. They do not like what has happened in their national economies, but they like the euro, and they just do not seem to connect the economic difficulties that exist in the various countries, really all the countries with the exception of Germany. They do not seem to connect the dots with respect to the difficulty and the economic malaise to the single currency. Okay, when you give up currency sovereignty and you become a currency user, then you are subject to creditors. You have to run positive balances. And that creates some very difficult choices for the economy, okay? And we have seen those choices manifest in, the cutting of social supports, the demise of labor unions and worker power, the loss of pensions, all that kind of stuff. And again, the concentration of wealth at the top. So you have that problem, all right? And of course, Europe had a long history of broad social state, lots of services, lots of protections, and all of that stuff is being dismantled. So it hurts the people in the middle at the bottom. They don't see the euro as the problem. And I said this a long time ago, long before I was making these videos, right? The other thing that came out of the election, I think, is this desire by people or this embrace of this kind of transnationalism, no borders. They like that. They like the freedom and the ability to move around. If you are in the European Union, it's kind of like being in the United States. You can move from state to state or over there from country to country. It's borderless. And even though that creates problems in terms of immigrants and refugees coming in from the outside, which has created strain on social services, maybe lifted crime rates and that sort of stuff. They like that freedom of movement. They don't want to give it up. So all the talk about nationalism and anti-Europe, while there might be some sentiment for that, and it might connect with lots of people, the other things outweigh. And for me, the interesting thing is this desire to keep the euro. When the countries like Greece and Italy and these periphery countries had their own currency in the past, there was never a time when they had an inability to meet pension payments or to pay workers or to have an employment rate that was near or close to full employment. They may have had periods of time where they went through inflation, that's true, but the trade-off now is the austerity, it's the constant or rolling recessions, it's depression levels of unemployment, and these things, I guess, the people are okay with that because they'd rather keep the euro. I mean, it's, when I saw people lighting themselves up on fire, okay, immolating themselves back in 2010 and 2011 in Greece as a protest. And the government just stood by and said, hey, no problem. We're going to continue doing what we're doing with austerity and cuts, and even if that creates a massive pain on the part of the citizenry, and we cave into the bankers every single time, and we accede to their demands, we're going to do that. And the people were still like, okay, fine, we just want to keep the euro. So the euro, underlying, and I've been saying this, has a very powerful bullish fundamentals behind it. The austerity, the negative interest rates by the central bank, all these things are, and running of trade surpluses, mainly by Germany, but the whole EU in the aggregate, very powerful bullish forces underlying the euro. So even though today we see a little bit of a pullback in the euro, I suspect that the euro now, green light for a long-term, or medium-term bull market rally in the euro. We see a little bit of a pullback so far in stock futures. Last week, S&P closed new all-time record high, NASDAQ new all-time record high. Still not happening with the Dow, so we'll see what's going on there. All right, I'm going to get to work on the MMT Trader report. A lot of stuff in there on the banking side, a lot of stuff in there with what's going on with commodities, with gold, with oil. The fiscal flows, we got information there. And don't forget, this week now begins the new funding bill that was signed into law last week. We had that 1 week continuing resolution. Then we had, after that, last week, Congress agreed on a funding bill that'll take us all the way through September. So we're going to see the flows that come off of that. All right. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.